Kevin out in Colorado, if memory serves, right? Yeah. Welcome. Good to see you.
Snowing quite a bit here today, so a lot of drifts in my house. At my house today,
Oh, it's snowing there.
yeah, a
Wha-
lot.
Wow. Okay. We are officially approaching. Did we buzz through fall and now we're in winter? Is it still fall?
The fall, but
Feels like
should
it
get
got
there.
skipped.
Right? Yeah.
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 Kevin, I can't hardly hear you. Is it just
Yeah,
me?
it's really light, Kevin.
Okay, all right. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
And we got Clark Broom on here. So typically you guys welcome, if you're watching this on the recording, it's 9:01 every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. We have our atomic team meeting live. That's the site to go to, www.atomicteammeeting.live. You also should join our Facebook group so that you're up to date on all the things. If you miss something, which if you're watching recording, that's probably where you're finding it. I also put it on my YouTube channel as well. So there's a couple different sources that you can find if you're not on Facebook. But anyway, put it in your calendar to not miss these because we do 30 minutes to 40 minutes and we just have really good information and guest speakers and so on. I know I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are all here and have it blocked out in your calendars and so on. So we appreciate you for that. Gina Sherman, good to see you. Good morning. Clark Broom, Justin Stoddard. Well, we got some big players showing up here. I love it. And so we'll get going at about 9:03, 9:04. But I want to prep you for those that are here. What we're going to do this morning is if you were at eXpCon, which I know Clark was, myself, Tom, etc., Lexi. If you were at eXpCon, we're going to go over what some of your key takeaways were because there was a lot of information and things that were dropped, kind of mic drop moments, adjustments to the comp plan in a very good way for those that are in production. So we'll kind of go over some of that so you're all brought up to speed. But they had amazing breakout sessions. They had over 100 different breakout sessions this time and 10 different tracks that you could go on, from agent attraction to building a team to investment, building a business through working with investors and on and on and on. It was really, really good. So, and then I also want to encourage you, they have early bird pricing now out for eXpCon 2025. And you really should just make a commitment that I'm never going to miss our biggest convention that the corporation puts on. That's where all the big mic drop moments and announcements and the connections and the networking that are just invaluable, right? The meetings after the meeting. So save some money, buy your ticket now. That way you're committed to going and you will be part of the cool club that went. Anyway, so those that went, I want you to kind of brainstorm a little bit of what one or two of your ahas or takeaways were so that I'm going to call on you and you'll be, ready to rock and roll. All right. So welcome everybody. This is Atomic Team Meeting.live. We're going to get started here. And I want to kick it off with one of our fearless leaders, Mr. Tom Daves, who's always just go and making things happen. He's got that seatbelt across his chest because he is moving and grooving and making things happen. He's actually, going and looking at a potential property he's going to buy and potential flip and just all sorts of exciting stuff. I'm always like, Tom, what are you doing now? What's going on? Like, you're so inspiring. So Tom, what was one of what was the biggest takeaway you had, or, one or two?
Okay, thank you. So never give pain a voice.
Oh, yeah.
Never give pain a voice. And I never get tired. I never get tired. So that came from Jesse Itzler. And of course, he is an ultra marathon. I mean, he's up there with David Goggins and just an amazing entrepreneur, billionaire, athlete. And he was also saying, hang on. Sorry.
Got to stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, yeah. Build deep, authentic relationships. And when you connect with people, the 3 C's, compliment them, congratulate them, and console them with soul. We all have to have soul with everything that we do. And because, yeah, there are disappointments. This market is tough. It's difficult, but there's 90% is what happens. The 10% is how you respond. So you have to respond favorably with no regrets. Don't compromise and have urgency. And he was in an amazing ultra marathon event, and he came alongside. He was going with a crazy Marine. This guy was a crazy Marine. He actually had a long beard. He was nuts, tattoo, and he was on the 82nd mile of this 100-mile ultramarathon, and Jesse was about ready to give up. He had about 5 toenails floating around in his shoes. He was going through hypothermia, and he looked over to this guy and he says, "How do you do it?" And the guy looked at him and he says, "I'm a little crazy. This is a miracle, but I never get tired. I never get tired." Say that. Oh man, I never get tired. No, say it like you mean it. I never get tired. He started saying, "I never get tired." And he was amazingly able to finish the event. And what he was sharing, and I'll share with you, words that you say matter. So that's my share. Appreciate it. It was more than one, but it's all good. Thanks, Matt.
I love it, Tom. And you are the poster child of learning something and putting it into action. So he comes up to me during the event. He goes, "Yeah, I got my morning workout in this morning. I never get tired. I was working my biceps and I just was doing it. And I just said, I never get tired. I never get tired. I never get tired." And he goes, "Man, I got a great workout on my bicep. I did way more than I normally do." He goes, "It works." So that was really, really good stuff. I love it. Good sharing. Tom, thank you so very much. And then I see Jackie McKelvin, another leader here with her hand up, big smile. So Jackie, what you got?
I love that too. It was so powerful. I mean, he had a couple of other statements I'll add to that. How do you feel? Outstanding. And, I just think I'm a big mindset person. I love mindset. I'm pretty conscious of it. And yet, the words we say matter. And maybe I have not been saying the right words to myself. So it was a good wake up call for me. And by the way, that was the best, eXpCon I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I went, and actually kind of decided a little bit more like last minute to go. And I was so glad I went. Another thing he said is, as he rounded his, training up, and he every time he came around for the next roundabout in his run, he was challenged to just explain one thing you're thankful for. And I think, beginning our day and ending our day with that mindset is really, really powerful. But I loved all the enhancements that they are giving us. And I'm sure, Matt, you're going to talk a little bit about the revenue share. But the fast cap program that they are rolling out for newer agents to cap quicker the results they're having with this new program that they've rolled out, I think is been very even surprising to them. The number of agents just getting started with new listings signed and new buyers signed and new under contracts has been amazing. So this fast cap, you guys need to look that up and implement it for anybody in your organizations that's joining. Get them started on it, because I think it's really, really a powerful thing. And a big aha for me, guys, is I invited a guest last minute. Thanks to Clark. My goodness, what a rock star he is. I mean, it was challenging, all of us to, just invite. And you guys, I last minute made a call, probably 10 days before the event. And this person came, powerful. And, we'll see what he decides to do. But I was just blown away. And thank you, Tom Daves, Don Yoakum, Oh my gosh, this team we're a part of, you guys, they are so powerful.
Yeah.
And the way leaning in to get this person in front of, you know, powerful people in this company to move that needle. And man, am I glad, like on a whim, I'm like, I'm just gonna call this person, just invite them. And it was so powerful. We'll see what happens. Man, I'm just jumping out of my boots right now because
I
I'm
love
so
it.
excited.
I love it. Now, wait a minute. I thought I heard you say last minute, but then I heard 10 days before the event, and that doesn't correlate. That's not last minute. Give me a break. 10 days, that's an eternity. Shoot, I think Brent Gove got on a plane with 5 days before the event or something and had a
Okay,
full
maybe not
schedule.
so last bit of it,
Yeah,
no,
last
but it
minute's like the day before or the morning
Yeah.
of. Like, get over here. But anyway, that's awesome. Kudos to you. I saw you had a number of guests and everything. That's awesome. Yeah, I do want to edify FastCap. Now, what's really interesting for some of you that may have been in the Keller Williams atmosphere at some point in your career, they have what's called bold and so on, and they charge, and it's big money to do all this stuff. Well, we got the master trainer from Keller Williams, Brian Ellington, over here at EXP, and he is rocking it. He's put his team together. They literally interviewed all the top realtors in EXP, first year realtors, and that were doing, you know, not just capping, but like icon level and so on in their first year in real estate. And they're like, okay, what are you doing? Let's break it down. Let's get really detailed. And they did this across the country, across the board of EXP. And what they found was there was some correlating items. Everybody was doing a little bit different, you know, kind of stuff, but there was stuff that correlated that was similarities throughout. And so they created this 6-week fast cap intensive program based on those things from these first year agents that were killing it at EXP. And Jackie's 100% right. You don't have to be a new agent. You literally could be an agent that maybe you're a little stale. Maybe this last year was like really tough and you need a kick in the butt. And you're like, you know what? I just need to get some structure. I need to get things, you know, it came easy to me before because of my sphere and this and that, but now things have really tightened. Man, it's tough. My bills haven't gone down. They've stayed the same, but my income's gone down. So get in this fast cap. I will tell you it is sold out. It starts today as the introduction, but the next one will be January, I believe. So make sure you get on the list and make it happen because it's a powerful thing. I'll give you some stats. Those that did the 6-week, and the key is that you actually did it, not that you just showed up and put your face on screen. Like you actually did all the stuff that they expect you to do, and you posted your numbers and you were accountable and all that. They averaged over four appointments for listings or buyer sales or what have you, like income producing appointments. That was the average, was like 4.5 or 4.6. Okay. Now, and then on a side note, in regards to EXP agents, when you're talking to other agents at other brokerages, and there's this thing that EXP is all about recruiting or whatever, that our new tagline is it's where the pros go to grow. And here's a stat you should know. The average agent at EXP, this is across the board, 87,000 agents, is 6.2 sales, something like 6.2 or 6.4, something like that, sales a year. Whereas the NAR national average for realtors is like barely 2 this last year. Okay. So we are all about production and making agents get escrows open and closed. All right. So that's such a great share, Jackie. I love it. Such great energy. The other thing I just wanted to clarify on Jesse Itzler. So if people are wondering, he was doing a run that was basically like last man or last runner standing was the winner. So everybody, and they did a loop, and I think was it a 5-mile loop or a 2-mile loop or something like this, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just had to do it over and over and over until there was just one person doing it. And so he had this Marine with him and he's like, I don't, you know, I never feel pain or never get pain of voice. I never get tired.
Outstanding. I feel outstanding.
I feel outstanding. Right. And he's got toenails off and floating around in his shoe. He's like, I'm outstanding. This is great. So anyway, you know, use that mindset in your real estate as well. All right, Courtney Twiss. And then I know Clark Broom's probably got some stuff to share. So we definitely want to tap in to Clark after Courtney. She's so far away. We don't hear you. We don't hear you, Courtney. I don't hear. Do you guys hear?
There, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
There we go. Yeah.
I was in charge of tech this morning. That's why we look the way we look. No.
There you go. Yeah.
Actually, we just have a quick question. Where do you get on the list for FastCap?
So just go into workplace, just not workplace chat, but workplace, and then put in the thing FastCap, and it'll come up. I think there's a group and all these different things that you can get on the list.
Okay. It's the same page not found, but maybe it's just glitching or something. Okay. We'll try it again.
Are you doing it as one word, FastCap?
Yes.
Try
Just
that,
says-
and then try 2 words.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Courtney, you were there. I'm going to put you on the spot now. You were there. What was your big takeaway, and what are you looking to implement?
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so great. I pretty much did the attraction break path as well as the investment side and got so many great nuggets from both. I think one quote, and I think it was Elizabeth Riley said it, was to be the ripple in someone's life. And that just kind of stuck with me because you could apply it towards your clients or towards your agents if you're a leader. And I thought that was great. I've got Julie Gherkin here with me, and this was her first eXpCon. But I don't know what you love, Julie.
My takeaway was so much. It was just overwhelmingly wonderful, and enjoyed every aspect, every minute of going to it. One of the things that I really enjoyed was the investment side of it. That was really a great takeaway with Brandon over there he was just so encouraging and so helpful, and he didn't care what kind of experience you had or whether you were a newbie or an oldie or coming in for new things. He was absolutely amazing. And I just, like I said, there was just so much going on. In fact, I told Courtney, I said, how are we going to remember all this stuff? I mean, we wrote notes and notes for days. And I also like all the speakers, these breakout sessions. They were amazing. So just so much going on. Everybody should be going.
Well,
Oh,
can I have
absolutely.
one thing, Matthew, just for all of you?
Yes. Just
We've been
because it's
here
you.
Excuse me, we've been here 1 year with EXP, and
Yeah.
Julie iconed. So first year here, she's icon and
Wow.
spoke on the panel in front of a few hundred people and nailed it.
Wow.
And I just think what an opportunity
Yeah.
for someone to know that coming over within a year, not only can you icon and get $16,000 back, but you can be up on the stage. And it
That's
was
awesome.
just pretty awesome.
Where were you before coming to EXP?
I was with Century 21 for 15 years.
Wow.
And I was a Century 21 baby, as they call us.
Yeah.
From back in the 70s when Century 21 was first incorporated as a franchise in the 70s. My dad was part of that whole thing. And so I felt like, oh gosh, I'm going to be a trader. I shouldn't be doing this with EXP. But you know what? It just makes sense. The whole program just makes sense, and you got to do it. You just got to do it.
Absolutely.
It's all about, all the speakers were talking about, what are they doing for us? Well, literally, in my opinion, not much. What is EXP doing for us? EXP is doing everything for us. They've got all these new programs, all these new things coming out. They're looking out for us. They're looking for our future. There's just so many things going on that we're just trying to grasp on everything, and everybody just needs to stay engaged and keep with the program.
Plugging in.
Keep plugging in and keep coming to these meetings and keep chatting with everybody. Everybody was so amazing. Oh gosh, you guys are all amazing. So much fun.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. So I was on a Zoom yesterday with a gal that was a vendor at eXpCon for website builds or whatever. And she goes to all the different conferences, right? She's at Compass and she's at, all these others and so on. And I said, hey, tell me something. You're not on the inside. You're not even a realtor. Like, what was your take of eXpCon compared to others? I think that'd be great feedback. As I'm attracting and recruiting agents from other companies, like, what was your take? And she goes, honestly, by far the best convention that I've ever been to. The attitudes of EXP agents was night and day different compared to other brokerage conferences. Like, for example, Compass didn't even have one this year. So she's like, that should speak volumes. Like they had it last year and they cut it this year. So what's going on there? And then she goes, and then I was at Keller Williams and it was such an attitude of lack. Like, for example, from company down, she goes, I go, give me some examples. She goes, well, you know, what's interesting, like they had coffee going into the sessions, but like it was $9 for a coffee. Like it wasn't like, oh, here's the coffee and tea station, get some before you go in or whatever. She's like, and I talked to all the realtors and they're like, oh my gosh, the market's so, you know, the sky's falling, da, 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 and all this. She goes, the agents at eXpCon, they were like upbeat, excited, happy. I go, yeah, because they're all owners and EXP keeps giving them value and so on. So on that note, and then Clark, you're up. And then, you know, Blake, Arizona Blake, Lenny, I know you were there as well. So get ready. I may call on you if we got time. A couple things in regards to giving value. EXP, if you don't know about Sisu, if you're in FastCap, you know about it. It's a phenomenal program. I'm learning about it. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it's a pretty powerful tracking, accountability, gamify type program. And the people that are on it for like production teams and things of that nature are just singing the praises and love it. EXP loved it so much in their FastCap that they actually worked out a deal with Sisu, and now we get Sisu included in our monthly $85. And did the price go up? Nope, $85. It's been $85 ever since I've been here, and it's 5 years now. And that's something that Glenn Sanford's really big on, is we're not increasing the monthly fees and so on. So, you know, that's leadership down wanting to pour into us. The other thing is, who here uses Canva at some point, right? Canva, it's pretty powerful. There's Canva Pro, the paid for version, all that stuff. Well, EXP, mic drop, said, okay, we've been negotiating with Canva and every agent at EXP now gets Canva Pro. And all of our marketing materials for corporate wide, you're going to have access to in Canva Pro and so on. So you can utilize that. That's amazing. Like that's really, really big, right? So there's another way that you can cut expenses in your real estate business, because a lot of you probably were paying for Canva Pro on your own and now you don't have to, right? And your fees didn't go up at EXP. So they're just giving value like crazy. What else can I add to that? All right, Clark Broom, go ahead. I got other stuff, but I can wait.
Awesome. Courtney, if you go to us.exprealty.com, that's like a catch-all webpage now. And if you go down to the bottom, just click on EXP University, and right there is FastCap and all the other programs they have. So it's kind of like they put that out as like a one-stop shop kind of thing, where you can look up a lot of different things on that. And
what was it again? Say it again, Clark.
us.exprealty.com.
All right. I put
and
it.
they have one for Canada, but I didn't write it down. So it was on a Zoom I was on that I think it was Leo mentioned it or somebody like that. So
Awesome.
but eXpCon, this is the best one I've been to. I've been to 3 of them. In fact, the first one I went to, I wasn't part of EXP. And I went a couple of days. Brent invited me, got me a ticket and a hotel room a couple of days before going. And so I went there, but I've been going to events over 40 years. And there's nothing like building event to event. It's meeting magic. We had, and to really see the event through the eyes of a person you bring there for the first time. I brought an independent broker, who's been with us for 30 days.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Randy Bird, you're up next, just to give you a little heads up, my friend. All right, Clark, there you go.
Oh, I hit a key on my, somehow I hit a key on my board and it mutes me. But anyway, so, but to see it through their eyes, I mean, she's a top producer. She's owned her own brokerage for 15 years, has never really affiliated with anybody else, and came over. I've known her through previous business relationships, and now she's on fire. And it does a heavy lifting for you. It gets them from point A where they get in, point B to where they're building, faster than anything else that we could do. And so I just put a high emphasis on building event to event. I went to all the breakouts for the, in fact, I saw Matthew and Lexi there at the, the scripts and the independent, approaching brokers. I mean, it was just nuggets and nuggets. and I couldn't take notes fast enough. I did record it. It's a little muffled. I was listening to it this morning, but hopefully all that will come out on, whether it's, your YouTube, Matt, or somebody. It warrants looking, listening to it over and over again. Make
Absolutely.
it for you.
And it will, Clark. I did record it from the front row, did
Good.
snippets on the script off. It was really powerful. So I'm going to have my editor put that on my Matthew Stewart
Yeah.
Real Estate YouTube channel, so you can
And
have that
then-
as well.
And then the event, the breakout that Brent was a part of, building event to event. I'm a firm believer in that. If you want maximum leverage, you want to build a huge organization, that's the way to do it. Because if it's all dependent on you, it's going to be a small business. Okay, just put it
That's
that
true.
way. And but all the speakers were awesome. I really enjoyed Rene Rodriguez, I think his name is. I've read his book. In fact, I'm reading it again right now. That was phenomenal. Just on, anyway, it was just good. But the one that really impacted me the most was Will Guerra.
Guerra, I think.
Yeah, Will Guerra, and just the touch points, and just unreasonable hospitality, and it was just phenomenal. And I just got his audiobook I'm going to be listening to, and of course Jesse Isler was phenomenal, and then also Brian Carruthers, and just nailed it on Agent Attraction, of course. But there are so many things you can take away from this. It's like a fire hose. And the key thing is to take one thing that you can, have actionable and apply it right away. And one of the things I learned from John Maxwell, and that is whenever you take notes, and I did this on my flight home, is I went through my notes and I prioritized action now. And I put, like A for action now, F for filing away, and then I think I forget action filing away, and then L for later on. And I just highlight them, and I make notes off my notes of what to apply right now.
That's right.
So anyway, I could share more, but it was just phenomenal. And I hope you got your tickets to Cabo. That is the highlight of the year. And I always buy tickets, from I buy tickets event to event. And so you don't want to miss this. But more than that, you know what the secret to building this business is? Show up and bring somebody.
That's right.
Show up and bring somebody. And so focus in, it should be a given that you're going, okay? If you're serious about, and I'm just speaking from my heart, if you're serious about building a future, it isn't even a question where you're going to go or not. It's how you're going to go. And then secondly, bring somebody. Bring somebody. It could be that last minute decision. I've seen this over and over again. Last minute decision becomes the biggest in the business. Look at Brent's example. I was an example of that in my other business, example in this business, so I can't emphasize it enough. So that's it.
I love it. I love it. Randy Bird, you had your rally hat on for like half a second and you turned it back, my man. I was like, let's go, bring the rally hat.
I was going to put it on backwards, and I realized it's pretty much a big bald spot right there. So I was like, okay, that doesn't look as good as some other people that wear hats. So I went back.
I think in the old days, high forehead or whatever, that was like intelligence.
Yeah, my hair starts about here. Actually, I do have some hair, but it's like, it's all good. I'm a hat guy. But thank you, Matthew. Thanks for calling me out, and love what Clark just said. Listen, events build belief, and I love how everybody's posting about Cabo now, because we're just off the heels of eXpCon. Cabo's going to be incredible. We've got, some of the best speakers you've ever heard of are going to be at Cabo. You've got to be at Cabo, and it's an intimate environment. You're talking about 1,000, maybe 1,100 people if we squeeze it in there, taking over the whole resort. That's a small crowd in that room. So every seat in that room is like you're 50 feet max away from the stage. It's pretty spectacular. But I love what Don Yoakum taught me a couple of years ago about events. If you don't go to the event, that's a fail, right? That's a straight F. If you do go to the event, good job, you got a D, right? If you go by yourself, you got a D. If you go to the event and you take a guest, that's good. That's a C. If you go to the event and you take someone and that person takes someone, then you're talking about a B or an A. And I might have got this a little bit out of whack, Don, but you get my point. You get somebody to go to the event, a guest, and then you get that guest to take a guest to the event. That's when you get an A. That's when you really have created duplication. Don, did I get that close?
Yes, you were close. An F for not showing up, a D for showing up, a C when you bring a guest, like you said, a B.
Or was
when
that a
you-
team member, then a guest?
Yes, and then a team member brings a guest, and then you're A.
Amen. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So everybody understand that? That's the principle for duplication. That's the principle for success. And I'm gonna be honest with you for a minute. I see a lot of people that treat specifically Cabo like a vacation. They buy their Cabo ticket, they buy airlines, they come in a day early, and then they sit by the freaking pool for 4 days and drink. That is not what we're looking at doing in these events. The events are 3 hours a day on purpose. That's so you can, no matter what you're doing, we start at 9:30 in the morning, right? For the afternoon, for a lot of us to get up early, 5 o'clock. But it's made for your benefit. Only 3 hours a day. I really implore you to don't go out late the night before. Get there at 9:30, get there at 9, get early, get a front seat, and really dive in and take advantage of these opportunities at these events.
Absolutely.
Guys, it's just that simple. And then when you can have your team next to you, you're creating replication through duplication. You're leveraging that time in front of other leaders. And then when they bring a guest, that vision gets to be shared throughout others. So I just, I can't tell you enough how important it is to treat these events. That's 3 days of 3 hours. That's 9 hours of literally committed training. And I'm going to say 10 and a half hours because I'd like your butt there a half an hour early. Get a great seat, wait for the doors to open, stand by the front of the door at 6 a.m. so I can sneak in with you at like 9:15 if you don't mind, please.
Right.
But honestly, get to the events, plug in, and then spend a half an hour after the event finishes having lunch with somebody and detoxing and downloading. And what did you learn? What brainstorming can you get together? What synergy? What kind of action plan can you put into place? And that is when you win this game. And the last thing I'm going to say, Matthew, I've got another call I got to jump on, but I've had probably 10 calls that people want to do 3 ways with me, and they're excited and they're energized and they're plugged in. And guess what? 0 of them were not at eXpCon. Every single person that has called me with excitement, wants me to introduce themselves to another agent, wants to follow up on a 3-way, wants to, we're talking some big-minded people. Every one of them were at eXpCon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not directly talking down to you, but I am looking at you. If you weren't at eXpCon, I'm not going to shame you. I'm saying plug into the resources, plug into the replays, plug into that stuff, and commit to yourself. This is about you and your business. So that's all I have to say. A little bit of a soapbox, but listen, it's that important getting to the events.
I love it. So
Matthew.
true. Like there's, some people I coach in regards to mapping out your year-long calendar. And there's 3 events now, major events that should be first on your calendar that you write down. You don't miss eXpCon, Cabo, and then the build events. Those are the 3 biggies. They should be first on your year mapped out for 2025. Go get tickets, go lock it in, and so on. And, Randy, you had mentioned about the meetings after the meetings, the breakfast, the lunch with the leader, or this or that, get in front of people. I don't know of anyone better in all of eXp at doing this than Mr. Don Yoakum. He literally, like at events, he is so busy. Go, go, go. I go, hey, where are you going? He goes, oh, I got to go have breakfast with so-and-so. And I got to go have lunch with so-and-so. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I want to be like you. Like, I want your schedule. Like, how do you do this? How do you set this up? And he's so purposeful. Like, it's brilliant. So Don, I know you can comment a little bit on events here for sure.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that, Matthew, because I have a lot of fond memories at KW, of course. And but when they first launched the masterminds, they weren't that good, and I was having a lot of trouble getting my agents there. So what I did is I started picking out my top agents, and I said, hey, listen, go to the mastermind because you want to have breakfast with somebody that's doing what you are doing. And because they were complaining, well, I don't think the mastermind's that good, you know? And by the way, I think that the masterminds they do now are very good. But the point is that the way to make the event, the most important thing is to bring a guest, okay? But if there's a next most important thing, it is to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with people that are doing what you want to do. And you will be shocked at your ability to meet with whoever you want to meet with if you start booking those appointments today, right? So, I mean, be careful asking Brent because he has a hard time saying no, but you just dream big here. Like, you know, this organization is extraordinary. Today at 12:30, I'm doing a Zoom with Leo because he's going to coach me for an independent broker conversation I'm going to have in a couple days. And I'm going to ask him for some special concessions, as you might imagine. Okay. But the point is that when you go to these events, the content at Cabo, by the way, is geared for builders. So if you have a builder's mentality, you want to build a revenue share organization, this is absolutely the can't miss event of the year. But I can't emphasize enough that now it's not too soon to be booking those appointments. You have the pick of the litter if you do it today. Okay. If you wait till 1 or 2 weeks before the event, those really great people are not going to be available. And if you wait till the event, you know, you're going to be SOL. Okay. So anyway, that's my encouragement.
I love it. And the connections are so powerful at these events, and what's so special about Cabo, if you haven't been, is it's an all-inclusive resort, and there's 5 restaurants on the resort. It's right on the ocean. The waves are crashing. So after the 3-hour session, people really don't leave. They go get some food in the restaurants. They hang out at the pool, the spa, they get some drinks. So it's like the most amazing time to get around the absolute best of the best in the industry of real estate in one confined place. So much so that we got Tom Ferry coming, and you know, that's no small feat to get Tom Ferry coming. Do you know how Brent got Tom Ferry? I'll tell you. Tom Ferry has been wanting to get with Ed Milet and has not been able to. And Brent said, hey, Ed Milet is going to be one of our keynotes. And Tom's like, oh my gosh, like I've been wanting to get with him. I'll tell you what, I will come and be one of your keynotes on one of the days if you can get me some private time with Ed Milet. And Brent, you know, he's like, yes. He's like, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll figure it out. Yes, absolutely. You know how Brent does, and he makes it happen. So that's the power of what Don is talking about, even to the levels of an Ed Milet and Tom Ferry's, right? Like how powerful the meetings after the meetings are. All right. I want to go over one thing or a couple things that came out that were kind of mic drop type things, especially for those of you that are in production. So you're going to be rewarded for sticking around to hear this. Some of you that have been in eXp for a while, you may have an organization of, you know, people who have attracted people, and maybe you're 3, 4, 5 levels deep, but you have not personally sponsored too many to kind of quote unquote unlock those levels of payout. eXp blessed us by unlocking levels 1 through 3, but some of you may have people on levels 4 and 5 and 6, and you're just not tapping into it, right? You're not getting paid out on those. Well, Glenn Sanford did a mic drop moment, and he said, look, we are a company about production. We want to reward those that are focused on production and so on. So if you are a capping agent, okay, and you achieve that level, levels 1 through 5 will now be unlocked for you for the first 13 months. So it's going to give you a taste of some of that revenue share, and hopefully it encourages you like, hey, this is some real deal life-changing stuff. Residual type income is far better than earned income, right? And for those of you that are just hustling and moving and grooving and hitting the icon status, which is a big deal, getting the 16,000 in stock, now that opens up all 7 levels. Okay. Now, some of you may not have people on level 6 and 7, but eventually you stay here long enough, it's going to happen. And those will be unlocked, levels 1 through 7 for the first 13 months. Now, here's what's interesting. is a lot of times they kind of beta test this and see how it goes. And so they put a limit of like, oh, 13 months or whatever. But if it goes well and they like it, a lot of times what they've done at EXP is they've just made it permanent kind of thing. Not saying it is now. They reserve the right to make it a beta test. But anyway, it's a pretty awesome opportunity. The other thing is you're going to see a new ICA, independent contractor agreement, come out as of the 4th of this month. You know, we got it because of the NAR settlements and all this stuff. They're changing the language. You might have seen no longer commissions. It's now going to be compensation. They're going to include in there that the commission advances for listings used to be capped at 3,000. Now it's going to go up to 6,000. And then they're going to include what I just announced about being a capper and icon and unlocking different levels, and cover the changes of RevShare 2.0. So pretty exciting stuff, in addition to the Canva and Sisu and all these different things that they keep adding value for us. All right, so Randy Bird, you are in charge of bringing a very special guest. Every week we have amazing guests that bring their best. And so, like I said, you guys need to put this on your calendar as a reoccurring and use it as a recruiting tool. If you got agents in other brokerages, invite them to our team meeting. It's open to anybody, okay? But Mr. Randy Bird, who do you have that's very special next week?
Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, we're really blessed. So Tanya Meme, she is Miss World Canada. You might have heard me talk about her a little bit, but she has, she's been on TV for 20 years and was the host of Sell This House. I'm going to throw her website in the chat in a minute so you guys could look. But next week, she's our guest. She's going to do like a half an hour training on what she does, mastering the spotlight, which is really getting confidence on camera. And it's like a $6,000 course. You don't have to buy it. We're doing a special deal, but I asked her if she could do something special for the organization. She sent me a thing saying $397 for a $6,000 course, a 4-week course. So we're going to offer that. And then she sent me a 50% coupon code. And I go, is that $397? She goes, no. I'll do another 50% off for your organization.
Wow.
So it's going to be $197. I've told half a dozen people outside the organization, they're all signing up for it. So it's going to be like a little bit of a teaser for that of what she does and talking about that course, but it's going to be available if you guys want it. We don't want to heavily pitch things for sale, but she is a authority on camera. She's been on, like I said, on A&E and you know, NAMI or Emmy nominated, all these things. But we're going to have that next week, and she'll do a little mini training on mastering the spotlight and talking about how to be confident on camera. And let's face it, that is just where the industry is going. And so if you're not doing video, this is a great meeting for you. And I appreciate you letting me share that. But we'll be here next week with it. And then I'll put her website in here just if you want to look it up, get a little bit of familiarity with it. But we're excited to have her in here, and she's doing it just as a gift for you guys. So
yeah,
cool.
She's awesome. Thanks so much, Randy, for putting that together.
And she's in your organization, everybody. Understand that. May not be directly aligned with you, but she's in our organization. She's one of us. Yeah. So that's something you get to leverage in your conversations, right? That is one of your business partners. That is the power of this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Randy personally brought her in. That was amazing. So, all right, you guys, you winners, thanks for, we went a little long, but it was really good information today. As Tom says, I don't know, Tom, are you,
back. So thank you, Matt. This is amazing. Now we all got our inspiration, time to put in the perspiration. Let's go. And I never get tired.
I never get tired. Let's go. Let's burn up the
outstanding.
I feel outstanding. All right, you guys, make it a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Matthew. Great job, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
See you guys.